So welcome, our brilliant and beloved colleague, Wils. We so appreciate your consistent leadership, mentorship, guidance, and the role you play in so many ecosystems. And as always at Setsi, we begin all things by giving thanks to the original stewards of the various lands we're on. We give thanks to all our ancestors, all those who toiled without compassionate compensation. We give thanks to all our elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, and learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. So, Wills, can you please introduce yourself and share a bit about your remarkable work, sir?
Sure. First of all, thank you very much, Victor, for this opportunity to talk about myself and also the work I'm doing. I'm the founder and managing partner at the Citadelle Capital, which is a fund I launched a year and a half ago to basically support underrepresented founders across Canada. And the goal of the fund is to build the next unicorns in Canada that are led by underrepresented communities, including the Black community. And this is basically the continuation of the work I did at CDPQ, the second largest pension fund in Canada, where I manage a $250 million fund with the same impact.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Your body of work is inspiring, but it also speaks to your tenacity, your resilience, and your visionary thinking. So, my next question, sir, is what's inspiring you right now in your work, or what's keeping you up at night?
Yeah, so what's inspiring me with my work, I would say two things. The first one is the fact that I'm from a family of eight children. I was born in 80. My parents moved to Montreal when I was 6 years old. I grew up in Montreal. We didn't have a lot of money, but I have wonderful parents that taught us great values. But I saw the inequalities. I saw how it was difficult as a member of the Black community to kind of have my seat at the table when it comes to organization, when it comes to being in places that have impact. And because of that, I decided really to be the best and everything, to be the best at everything that I did, school, sports, everything. And that kind of led me up to a path where I've been part of very successful organization and also in the investment world. And I've come to realize over time that if I want to have an impact for the Black community, if I want to help the community achieve equality, bridge the wealth gap, the way I could do it is with my knowledge and my skills around investment and around entrepreneurship. Since that time, my objective has been to build very successful, large Black-led companies. The second thing that really kind of drives me to do the work is I have a son. He's 22 years old. He's right now in the university, and he's going to be working about 4 years. He's going to be in the job market. And I have to tell you, Victor, still now, I get phone calls from young Black professionals at different organizations. They're 28, 30 years old, and they're struggling because they don't see anybody that looks like them at the C-level suite or at the CEO level. They're not getting any promotions, and they want guidance, they want advice. So we need to change the way organizations and corporations are giving room to our community at the C-level suites and higher. And to me, this is a mission. I want to make sure we get there.
Incredible. Thank you so much for all that context and all those actual insights. So my next question is, what are some of the challenges and barriers you see in the ecosystem, and what are some of the approaches you're taking to overcome some of these challenges and barriers, sir?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges in the ecosystem. And number one, being a underrepresented fund manager, that is classified as an emerging manager. There's a lack of Black-led funds in Canada. And just to give you an idea of the numbers, that I made sure those numbers were valid. And the study was done back in 2021 by one of the big fours. And they looked at how much capital was going into um, managing partners in Canada that are managing venture or private equity funds. Overall, in 2021, $31 billion were given to fund managers. Out of that $31 billion, 1% of the capital went to fund managers that classified as underrepresented managers. Out of the 1% of the money that went to underrepresented managers, 80% of the capital went to women-led funds. So that gives you an idea of there's very, very few dollars going back to Black fund managers that are then taking the capital and putting it in Black-led companies. This is a significant issue in Canada. Unless we're able, and it's very similar in the US, unless we're able to get the capital so we can fund our companies that are scaling, it's gonna it's gonna be hard for us to have companies at a very large scale, which is where most of the impact comes from. So this has been one of the key issues. Luckily for me, I've been in the universe of institutional investment for the last 10 years. So I know all the institutions, I know the investors, I know how to get my way around. But still, for the fund managers like me across the country, and there's a number of us that are doing the work, it's very, very hard.
Absolutely. And those numbers are staggering, but not surprising. So once again, I appreciate your candor. My next question is, do you have a set of key priorities in your work right now you'd like to amplify to our community of practice?
Sure. So my priorities are addressing three things: capital, access to very strong operating expertise to support the entrepreneurs, and access to the network. So that's all I focus. That's what I focus my time on. So number one, on the capital front, I'm now very close to announcing a first close for Citadelle Capital, which will give us the capital to start doing our transaction. I already have a first deal that's ready for capital. So we're going to be announcing that following the first close. Regarding operating expertise, realizing the lack of very strong operating expertise to support the founders that are building their businesses, I work with HEC, which is the main business school in Montreal, École des Hautes Études Commerciales. We built a program for Black-led companies that are scaling, to provide them support around how to put together the right business strategy, how to get capital, how to structure governance around the board of directors. And it's a 5-day program. And when the founders go through the program, after that, we introduce them to investors so they can get capital. So this is on the ecosystem front. And on the networking front, I've been doing a lot of work, making sure that the founders from the Black community are connecting with the rest of the network, with institutions, with venture investors, private equity investors, and the different stakeholders and the ecosystem.
Incredible, incredible. Thank you. So what is your ultimate goal, and what does success look like to you and your colleagues?
So that's a wonderful question. To me, the ultimate goal is within the next 5 years, I would like for us to be able to show the first Black-led unicorn in Canada. So the first billion-dollar company that's led by a Black founder in Canada. I know we can get there, but we just need to get to the first one to get many others to come. That's number one. Number two, I would like to be able to convince the Canadian organizations to allocate $200 million a year, every single year for the next 5 years, to invest in Black-led fund managers, so they can in turn put the money back in Black founders to build more unicorns.
Incredible. Thank you. Do you have any closing thoughts or calls to action for our listeners and our viewers?
Yes. My closing thoughts would be we need to continue to do the work we're doing. All of us together, Setsi and all the players and the space. We need the nonprofits, the for-profit. Let's work together. I really believe when we had the unfortunate events surrounding the death of George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter movement, I really believe we had a movement, a movement to really transform the ecosystem. Unfortunately, it sounds like we've lost a lot of momentum over the last 5 years. It sounds like instead of having a movement, we're now talking more about a moment in time, right? And I'm encouraging all of us to continue the work we're doing. I know it's hard work, but we need to keep on pushing and get the movement back to what it was and keep on pushing forward.
I couldn't agree more, sir. I couldn't agree more. I so appreciate your radical candor, your transparency, your leadership, but most importantly, your visionary leadership, your consistent and remarkable soul. And I just really appreciate all that you're doing for so many in the ecosystem. And once again, there is no way that we can get or achieve the things that we need to achieve as a community without people like yourself at the helm, leading the charge, who have expertise and have foresight and line of sight to some of the institutional investors that are required to capitalize the businesses on the ground. So once again, I really appreciate all that you do for so many. And as always at Setsi, we close these conversations, these interviews, by giving thanks to the original stewards of the various lands we're on. We give thanks to all our ancestors, all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We give thanks to all our elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, and learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. Wils, thank you so much for all that you do for so many. So appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much, Victor.